The breeds found at Ziwani include Rowan, Blue Swedish, and Perkins, among others. The Rowan is a heavyweight breed of domesticated duck raised primarily for decoration, exhibition, or as general-purpose ducks, since they are not prolific egg layers. Rowan ducks are frequently used for meat. The breed originated in France.
This one is a female Rowan. You can hear the noise, it's very noisy. It's not as heavy as the male. You can see the color, it's almost, the only thing that is similar to the male, it's here, on the feathers. You can see it's got some blue, same as the male, he had some blue on the wing. The wing feathers, you can see it's got some blue in it. The head is totally different from the male head. Obviously it doesn't have a drake's feather. It's more like a guinea fowl. Kama kaanga ikona madoa-doa. Beautiful as well in its own way. Compared to, the male is a beautiful one as well. I think Rowan, just like human, men are more, beautiful. Joking. But for this one you can kind of think they're not the same breed because they look totally different. Unlike the other breeds, if you look at black Swedish or blue Swedish, the male and the female look the same. The Pekin, they're all white. But for Rowan, for some reason, I don't know why, the male is totally different from the female, as in they look totally different. But they're quite beautiful. I don't know, people they're using nowadays as ornamental. When they're young, when they're ducklings, I don't know if you can see from the camera, it's got some kind of strips here on the head. When it's a baby, when it's a duckling, you can kind of see the strips. They're quite visible when it's a duckling. But when it's young, they all look the same. When it's 1 week up to like a month old, you won't tell the difference between male and female. I don't know why, but as they grow, the male, you start seeing the change, you start changing. The color, the sound, the size will start getting a little bit bigger compared to the female. But it's got meat as well, but not as the Pekin. This one, you will around 200 eggs per year. They're not as big as the Pekin as well. The Pekin eggs, they're quite huge, like really big, almost twice the size of a chicken egg. But these ones, they're not as big. And some of them, they will be like blue-greenish. The egg wouldn't be the normal white you're used to. These ones, they love water. Like I've said, they derive from the mallards, the ones that we find from the rivers.
The blue Swedish duck is among the oldest domesticated ducks with a large size, up to 8 pounds, hardiness adapted to cold climates, and an interesting bluish-grey appearance. The blue Swedish duck is easy to raise, care for, and keep.
Blue Swedish, they look the same. Just like the others, we have the drakes. These are male, it's quiet, you can hear from the female. Male is more quiet. The feather, you can see the drake feather, same as the others. The other kind of what we separate from the others is this white. It's like a baby's beep. You can see here it's white, same as the female. So they look the same, everything is the same. Dark head, a little bit dark, not quite black, but a little bit dark. Blue feathers, what they call it blue, but it's kind of gray. The tail here, you've got the drake's feather. The female doesn't have a drake's feather, and it's noisy compared to the male. So that's the kind of difference. It's not as heavy as the Pekin. The Pekin is the broiler in the duck industry. So that would be the heaviest bird. These ones, they're heavy, but not as heavy as Pekin. I would say 2 point something kg. They all have the same kind of soft feathers on the belly. At the back here, you can see the feathers, quite smooth. You can see the head, the duck.
Like all Swedish ducks, these lay between 130 and 180 eggs per year. They reach table weight in about 16 weeks.
So here we have black Swedish, almost similar to the blue Swedish. The difference is this is black. You can see this compared to the blue Swedish, we had some gray. This one is black. The head is normally greenish, same as the Rowan. You can see the head is kind of green. And this one is got a beep, just like the blue Swedish. This is a female, and this I'm holding here is a male. A male, like we said, it's got some drake's feather. Quiet compared to the female. It's a little bit heavier. You can see the size of it compared to the female. It's a little bit heavier than the female, but not as heavy as Peking. These ones they can be used for meat as well, but a lot of people who come to buy them, they use them for ornamental. Same as the Rowan, it's more as for beauty. So people who buy them, just keep them as pets for the homestead. They have good temperament as pets. This one, it goes for 3,500, mature. All the other ducks, apart from Peking, mature ones, they go for 3,500. Peking mature goes for 2,500. The ones that are laying, ready for your own breeding stock. The Muscovy ones are the cheap ones, the kienyeji ones. A male goes for 1,500, 1,500 Kenya shillings, and a female goes for 1,200.
The Indian runner duck breed, with 250 eggs per year, is considered an egg-laying machine of the duck world. A duck egg is more nutritious than chicken egg and weighs a whopping 70 grams, comparing it to a chicken egg, which is 50 grams. Ducks lay far too many eggs than chicken. Khaki Campbell duck breed lays the largest quantity of eggs per year, 330 eggs per year.
We have two types of Cambo. We have khaki and we have white. The white Cambo is similar to the Peking, but smaller in size. You can see this one is this is a mature one, it's laying, but the size is smaller. This one is layers in the duck industry. When you compare to the Peking broiler in the duck industry, this one is a layer in the duck. Male and female, same as the other characteristics. So we're talking about the drake's feather. This one is a female, doesn't have a drake feather. The noise is same, it's quite noisy.
Muscovy duck is a large and heavily built black duck of tropical rivers, ponds, and marshes. It is the best for meat production.
Here we have the Muscovy. This is the cheapest bird that we have, and most Kenyans, they will have this kind of bird. It's called Muscovy. It's a totally different duck compared to the other ones. These ones, it will sit on the eggs, or the eggs will hatch after 35 days. When you compare the other eggs, they hatch after 28 days. So this one takes 5 weeks to hatch. The others, they take 4 weeks to hatch. So that it's quite different. If this is a female, smaller in size, if this one mates with the other ducks we have, whatever they will produce, it's called a mule, it won't breed, as in, it will never give birth. If it's a male, it will never fertilize a female. If it's a female, it will never give birth. Sometimes, like this duck, they will lay eggs, but the leg will never be fertile. If you put it in an incubator, or if the duck sits on it, it won't lay. And this here is a mule. This one, it's a cross of the Rowan, you can see the dots, and this one. In the duck industry, they say this is the best meat compared to any other meat. Actually, commercially, if you go to Europe, they breed this one with the Pekins, because the top-end restaurants where you find maybe a plate of duck food selling for 10,000 shillings, easy. They normally use this duck. They say this is the tastiest meat, the mule. The color here, it's like a kienyeji, but the head, it's like the other ducks that we have. So the kienyeji head, if you're used to a kienyeji head, it's normally, you can see the skin, it's normally red. But the other breeds that we have, the head has feathers. But the kienyeji doesn't have feathers on the head. So this one is taken the characteristics of the other breeds that we have, but it's a mule. You can see the kind of feather. It's not like the ones that we have here. It's kind of, it's unique in its own way. This one is only good for meat, nothing else. There's two types of crosses. You cross the male Muscovy with a female Pekin, or the other way around, a female Muscovy with a male Pekin. But they say the best is the male Muscovy with a female Pekin or mallards, cambos. I've introduced a new kind of breed of Muscovy. This one is a Muscovy as well, but it's from Europe. It's you can see the color is like the blue Swedish. We're used to either white or black and white Muscovy, but I've introduced this one. It's a different color. You can see the color of it is kind of gray. It's got blue. White people call it, well, English people, if you go to like England, they will either call it lavender or blue. So this one is called blue. So it's Muscovy as well, but not what you're used to in Kenya. What we're used to is this black and white, or white pure, or black completely.
Water is a must for breeding purposes. Usually, ducks don't mate without water. High quality and productive duck breeds start laying eggs at their 5th month of age. Commercial duck farming in Kenya is still at a low rate, as few rear them in large numbers to meet the high market demand. The large Chinese community is the first target for people looking to rear ducks. This being the case, more Kenyans need to cultivate a culture of eating ducks, as this will create a demand for ducks.
Small hotels, restaurants, they should start trying, maybe on the menu, duck eggs here and there, duck meat. Even if it's small quantity, I'm sure people will start noticing the taste and they'll start requesting more and more. Same as if you go to a restaurant, you see there's a menu and there's a broiler chicken and there's kienyeji chicken. I think they should add now duck meat as well there. And I'm sure they're going to make money, because if you go to a Chinese restaurant and you look at how much they're selling the duck meat, they're making good money.
Duck farming is indeed a profitable venture. With a duckling going up to 250 Kenya shillings, Harun is well pleased with the returns he is getting and urges more farmers to join in.
If you rear them up to the age of slaughtering, let's say, if you want them for meat, a kg goes between 450, like I've mentioned, to 500 shillings. And a duck, when you've slaughtered it, will give you around, I would say, 2.5 kg. So that's why we're talking about maybe 1,200, which is good. I'm thinking it's good when we compare the same thing to chicken. Duck is the way to go nowadays. Now and again, I get people calling me to see if I can sell their feathers, because the feathers, especially at the belly, it's quite fine. It's good for duvet, pillows. So now and again, every month or so, I'll get at least 2 people calling me to see if I can sell them the feathers when I slaughter. Because their feathers is different from the way they're built, because they're water birds. The way they're built, they have a lot of feathers, especially here, and it's quite fine.
This business is appealing to young people, and Harun has been offering advice on how to rear the ducks.
It's good to plan ahead. You go and find market even before you have enough to sell. So by the time you have enough, because if you buy like 10, you're not going to get 100 overnight. But if you have a place that they need maybe 20 per week, and you start slowly supplying them, so by the time you have maybe that 600, every so often you increase your market. So every so often now you have more than you're supplying, you go to more and more restaurants to find market. Market is there.
Okuta Ngura, a vet technician, advises Kenyans on the advantages of duck farming, one being resistance to diseases, and ducks are normally hardy and well adapted to different types of environments.
Today we were visiting a farm at Ngoliba. It's a duck farm, and I think you've heard all that has been spoken about ducks. So I think Kenya should embrace duck farming because one, it is disease resistant. It requires less space. The meat is nutritious, and vaccinations, disease management are easier. So if we embrace duck farming, I think we'll move ahead. Yeah, we should not only care about chicken or do chicken farming alone, but also duck farming.
If you have been dreaming to venture into poultry farming, the secret of getting ahead is simply getting started.
Thank you.